Oh, it does look cool. Look what I got. Slightly different one today. This is 1800 cc's. 1800 cc's of Harley Davidson FXDR. Right, here we go then. Oh, get rid of that. Very basic, but see what it's like. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Right, this is huge. It's massive. It does feel quite cool, I'm not gonna lie. Where we go around to the right, don't we? Let me just press my right indicator. I don't know how to. Oh, self-cancelling. Hang. The back end just like stepped out when I did that. Oh my god. Oh, this is wicked. Oh, the bikes I've ridden today are the opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah, I mean, it does handle. It handles. I like it. Payment iron, this bike's as expensive as your car. 16 grand. So, I mean, to be fair, it's not that bad, considering like the, if you think about most of the old bikes are like 25 grand starting price. Whereas if you think about this, it's like the same, well, it's cheaper than a Rocket. I mean, don't get me wrong, when you spec this up, it'd probably go more than that, but it's a bit of an odd riding position. And having your feet out in front of you is odd, but then I'm getting used to it quite quickly. Rolls in well, like this. It does go. The indicator's on the wrong side of the thing is just weird. I'm in 6th gear. It's quite chilled. Are we coming off it? Oh, there's loads of torque. It just, like, that's 6th gear and it just accelerates straight away. Whoa, look at me! Oh, under the tunnel. Oh, to be fair, I mean, I was taking the piss, but this is actually not bad. That blip when you come down a gear. Come up next to me. Yeah, it's got the same thing as the R9T where it cuts out after a certain amount of revs. The rev limit is quite low in the rev range. But then I don't know what I'm actually doing. There's a rev. That's a clock. Yeah, there you go. There's an RPM gauge. There's quite a lot of vibration through the bars. I don't know why. It's only an 1800cc. I don't like having the indicators right and left because you have to take your hand off the throttle to indicate, if that makes sense. So like for me to for me to like indicate, right, I have to do that. I know you can't see that, but review stuff, bro. Oh, this is so Asbo. Bob, 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 bob. It doesn't have that Harley. I mean, I didn't really listen, but it doesn't really have that Harley noise, if you know what I mean. You know, like the clattery. I don't like the hand grips as well. The hand grips are very. I mean, they look like they're plastic, to be fair. It's got, on this tiny little screen, it's got a fuel gauge, it's got RPM, obviously mile an hour and everything. It's got a gear position indicator. Then underneath you've got your headlights, your fuel warning light and all that sort of stuff, which is on. And then if you go through the settings, you've got miles, average miles per hour, miles on, oh that's trip, reserve tank, time, which is wrong, 12 AM flashing. Yeah, probably. It's not as uncomfortable as I thought it was going to be. No, well, like something that's this bent over and my feet are out in front of me, I thought it'd be a bit odd. But then, should you see what the horn's like? Oh, the horn's really weedy. Oh, false neutral. It has got that like whiny belt noise. There's a lot of heat coming off it. Yeah, that's the only thing. It is. I am confused. Harley having, what is this, an 1800 and something cc engine? Quite like the front light, but 1800 cc, and it's only got 90 horsepower. But then it's got like, I can't remember what he said it was. It's like 300 or 250 foot-pounds of torque, or something along those lines. Anyway, it doesn't like being blipped, but then I don't think many of these massive engines do. Oh my god, how big are the indicators? Oh. Front brakes aren't actually that bad. I mean, is it yeah, double, I don't know what they are. They Brembos. They Harley branded brakes, but they are quite good. Like, I'm just going to try stop now. Yeah, they do work well. Let me just press my left indicator button. For my first sort of Harley experience, I suppose. Well, yeah, it is. I've never. So my girlfriend's granddad has got 18 Harleys, I think, and he's got like his pool. He's fully into the Harley everything. So he's got like his swimming pool has a Harley logo on the bottom, and they've got like branded towels and things. And like, I've never really got it. Like, I love biking. Don't get me wrong, absolutely love it. But I've never understood the really getting into a brand that much. But then, I know this isn't your classic Harley, but I think the guy at the shop, really nice guy, a guy called Cam at Watford Harley Davidson, lent me this for like the hour. And he was just saying, like, there's two different breeds of people that ride them. There's the people like the old school Harleys with like still in the like the ape hanger kind of loads of chrome kind of thing, and then you get the people that are the 20-30 year olds that have wanting to get into a brand of bikes that is different. And he was saying like you can customize these so much. There's like he was saying about, there's a guy that's got one of the other bikes. I'll put it up on screen now what it is. I can't remember what brand or what name it is, but it's only like a 90 horsepower bike, but then he's got it stage 2 running at over like 200 horsepower at the rear wheel, which is just insane. Like, if you could get 150 horsepower out of this, you'd never need any more power. It's got so much torque there. So I'm in third gear doing 30 mile an hour, and I just roll on. There's just, it shoves you in the back, and it makes, I mean, you do feel really cool riding it. It's not uncomfortable. Like, I'm in a bit of a weird position. I've never ridden a bike with my feet out the front like this. I do feel like I'm in a bit of a C shape, but I'm not comfortable. My back's not hurting or anything like that. I think it probably would get a bit uncomfortable on a long ride, but then this bike isn't designed for the long rides. It's quite a quiet bike, to be fair. When you're just rolling along, I mean, it would help if I wasn't in second, but you're rolling along in third gear, fourth gear, and it just, every gear you go up, the quieter it gets, and it's quite civil. But then when you want it, you drop down 2 gears, and it just so much grunt. Like, the torque is ridiculous. I'm probably guilty, well, I am guilty of judging the Harley sort of scene, the bikes and everything, because I've never ridden one. There's millions of Harley riders around the world, and I think if I didn't ride it or didn't try it, I can't really pass judgment. I mean, I know a lot of it, some of it is not my cup of tea, like I'm not really one for all the chrome. Jesus wept. It does don't half go. Of course, lovely day. But as an experience, coming out on this, see you later, Brooker. If you've got a 180 horsepower sports bike or 200 horsepower sports bike and you go out on the weekend, you can't enjoy it because you're not using, I mean, you're using what? 20%, 30% of the power before you're doing illegal speeds. Something like this, something like an R9T or an Indian FTR 1200 or something like that, it's just such an occasion when you ride it. And I think that's probably the thing that drives people into Harleys as like so much. The mirrors are useless at anything above like 2,500 RPM. It's very simplistic, although it has got all those bits in the dash that I mentioned. But having said that, it's a lot of fun. So I'm in 6th gear doing 70-ish, an indicated 74, 75 mile an hour. Now, I am getting quite a lot of wind blast, but because I'm leant over so much, I don't imagine you'd get a lot of neck ache or anything like that. I'd probably be no better off on a naked bike, I don't think. And in 6th gear, so I'm in top gear, and it just pulls, absolutely pulls. Obviously this is not really what this bike's meant for, but regardless. Yeah, I get it. Harley riders, I get it. It's you feel cool. It's not the, you don't necessarily feel like, it's not the most comfortable bike, it's not the most powerful, it's definitely not the most fuel efficient bike. God, it just sounds wicked. It goes really well, and there's shed loads of grunt. I really like it. I think it's so cool. And everyone looks at you, including these people next to me that's staring me out right now. Yeah, he's just staring me out. Everyone's staring at me. Is it because I look well cool or a virgin? Huh? Gosh, it and half go! I was a bit nervous about, well, not nervous, I was a bit hesitant about the fact that it's only got 90 horsepower, but you don't get anything in the way of quick shifters or anything like that, but I don't think you'd want one. It's all part of the experience of riding something this mental, absolutely mental. I have to say, like, I don't think Cam at Watford knows that I'm doing this, but Even if you have no urge at all to ride one of these things, go and take one out, because this is a lot of fun. And everyone's staring at me. The mirrors aren't actually that bad at normal speeds. If you're like under 4,000 revs, they're usable. But they don't look bad either, which is probably the big thing. Oh. I'm surprised how well it handles. I really am. This spins round, which annoys me. Let's filter on it, shall we? You haven't got any worry about people hearing you coming. The only negative from this experience is the indicator being on the wrong side. The rear brake's a bit naff, but yeah, the only negative from this experience is the indicators and the heat. But other than that, I love it. It's really cool. It pops every time you do that. It's so much fun. Oh, that's a shame. He's just moved away because he's bored of us. I really like it. It is an incredible experience riding it. If you wanted a Sunday blast bike or something that's going to turn heads, this is what you buy. So yeah, thanks for joining me on my first Harley experience. Come on Nicole, get on with it. Back into Harley Davidson Watford. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Where's the side stand? There it is, that was easy. Oh. Thing I quite like about these as well is there's loads of options for customization. Loads of options. 114 cubic inches. God damn. Anyway, see you next time. As like a Sunday blast bike, that's hilarious. You would never take it touring. You wouldn't take it on a long journey, but it's hilarious.